So what is astronomy? The word comes from the Greeks themselves. Astro meaning star and nomos meaning law form the word astronomy, literally meaning the law of the stars. Why were the Greeks so captivated by astronomy? Like you and me, the Greeks looked up and questioned why the planets wandered and the sun rose. Alexander the Great helped to quench this thirst for knowledge when he conquered Persia in 331 BCE, which placed Greece in the midst of the Mesopotamian and Zoroastrian observations and theories. The country's extensive trade routes provided further knowledge from the Indian Vedas and Chinese astronomers. We have some of these theories written down, but most of the surviving writings before 400 BCE are comments from Aristotle about theories he would like to criticize. How nice of him. Who were these great minds? Pythagoras was one of them. Credited as the first Greek to think the Earth spherical, antedating Columbus by over 2,000 years, the Pythagoreans concluded that the Earth's shadow on the moon hinted the curvature of our planet. Most Greek astronomers believed that the Earth centered the universe. However, there were many indicators that this was incorrect, such as the ever-varying brightness of the planets. Anticipating Copernicus and Galileo by almost 20 centuries, Aristarchus of Samos was the first to suggest that the Sun, rather than the Earth, was the centre of the universe, and that the rest of the planets orbited it. He also realised that the Sun was a star, and the universe was much larger than previously believed. However, Aristarchus was trapped with a good idea in a bad time. Nearly all Greek astronomers assumed that the universe was a sign of perfection, and all celestial bodies had a circular orbit. Aristarchus' measurements meant that the orbits of the planets would have to be elliptical rather than circular, and although we now know that they are in fact elliptical, this viewpoint was considered sacrilege.
Our next genius lies in the brain of Hipparchus of Nicaea, the most renowned Greek astronomer in his time. His resume included having calculated with an error of less than 1 second the length of the lunar month and having estimated the solar year with an error of just 6 minutes. He even managed to catalogue the precise latitude and longitude of 1,080 stars. However, Hipparchus made a mistake, a big one, by supporting the wrong thesis. Being the most powerful and influential mind at the time, he ended Aristarchus' correct sun-centered theory. Although Hipparchus' earlier accomplishments were ahead of his time, his belief in the Earth-centered model may have dragged astronomical progress backwards. Consequently, Ptolemy, in an essay which remained the primary text for 1,000 years to come, began to design ever more complex diagrams to account for the errors that came with the Earth-centered model. He added epicycles, circles upon circles upon circles, further and further from the truth. So, a blessing or a curse? The ancient Greeks made incredibly accurate measurements, such as the circumference of the Earth, without modern technology, and attempted to steer away from the idea that the gods controlled the heavens. Their theories revolutionized science and triggered the beginnings of an astronomical age that continues to this day. However, the Earth-centered model, supported by Hipparchus, persisted for another 15 centuries, guiding some of the brightest minds in history down the wrong path. But that is the risk that bounds every genius, two sides of the same coin. When they are right, they can trigger a revolution of knowledge, but when they are wrong, they can freeze it for centuries.
This is Houston, contact with a test. 1, 2, 3.
11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 1.